behalf of the entire Arctic. So GAW is Global Atmosphere Watch. So what it does is it takes long-term baseline measurements. So you know when you see like those climate graphs that say like 1990 to 2024, and it's got like a continuous line, like monitoring like CO2 or whatever. So that continuous monitoring is happening here, and it's on behalf of the entire Arctic because it's so remote and there's nothing else here to kind of influence it. So that's kind of what the GAW Lab is and what it does. And then it's home to, I'm not sure how many programs exactly, but they're international programs that run their instruments through the lab. And so they need an operator and a student to kind of take care of it on their behalf. So that's what all we're doing. So we can go take a look at some of those instruments.
So do you know that the ECCC is kind of worldwide?
Well, ECCC kind of owns it, and then like the NOAA, for example, National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, they're like an example of a program who have instruments here, and Environment Canada runs it on their behalf. Because given the nature of this location, they can't have employees constantly here monitoring their own instruments. So, yeah. So we'll just hop into this first room here.
where isn't there luminaries
Yeah,
up here?
yeah, I know.
Sure.
These ones are kind of cool looking. So this is an example of one of the plots that we pull up on Wednesdays. And these ones are sent to, I think, Scripps University. And that's where they're analyzed. But yeah, they have some funky looking glassware. Yeah.
Where I live, that would be a massive bomb for somebody.
What's that?
That'd be a massive bomb where I live.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was thinking, yeah.
Like,
Smoking something out of that.
So a lot of research that goes on here. We also have a microplastics program. So when we test precipitation and snow as well for microplastics. And that happens in this very sciencey looking area. Yeah. These ones are ozone and carbon dioxide levels that are continuously monitored here. So this value here, that's like right now the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which is quite high, given that I think the prediction was that in 2090 it was supposed to be like 420 something, but it's that now. So, yeah. And then this is kind of our backwards. Yeah,
He might be raiding your fridge
He's
or
probably
something.
turning knobs and flicking switches. And
Probably.
Jenny, I don't know if I explained it in the last tour, if you've gotten it since, but that instrument out there,
Mm-hmm.
the little tower, it's an albedo tower. So it's assessing the reflectivity of the snow surface.
Oh.
And so, you know how I was saying how that black carbon deposits onto the snow makes it warm up faster?
Yes.
So that's kind of in conjunction with that research, looking at how quickly the snow is melting.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting. The drift makes it a little hard. Yeah, I don't want to get in front of you. You can just walk right on that platform if you want. So we have technicians coming up next week. We've got 3 more people coming out. And they're working on these 3 machines here. They're called brewers. They track the sun.
Right on.
Yeah. That one on the corner there beside the broom, it's about to move, which is kind of cool to watch. That one there. It's a NASA instrument. This one.
Oh,